In the first part of English pronunciation practice, we looked at some notes regarding pronunciation in English. In this part, we'll look at the English alphabet, we'll look at all the letters one by one, and we'll look at words that are spelled using those letters but are having different possibilities of pronunciation and having different sounds. For example, as I said in the previous video, A maps to or A can be pronounced as R, as in father, as A, as in make, as maybe Schwa, as in altar. U can be pronounced both as U and U, and as as in cup. So U as in put, U as in pool, and as in cup or under. In this video, we'll then make sentences out of the words that we've looked at. First of all, we'll look at alphabets. We'll listen to how they are spoken, and then we'll look at some examples of words which use these letters to form different sounds, as is the characteristic of English orthography and pronunciation. The discrepancy between it because of the absence of diacritics, and diacritics is simply the accents and everything you place to mark the characteristics of the sound. For example, long sounds and short sounds. For example, accents in French or in Spanish. So English spelling system lacks in this respect, and we'll see words that can cause grievous confusion and mistakes on learners' part. And finally, out of these words, we'll make some sentences. So this is partly practice with pronunciation as well as practice with sentences. We'll be practicing construction sentences as well as a bonus point, but mainly this is about pronunciation of individual sounds as well as sounds of sentences. So let's start. Here's where I'll make sentences, and here is our file, is the table that I was talking about in the last video. Okay, so first of all, A. First of all, this letter, as you know, can be short and long. This refers to the length of the sound in time. So when you say it for longer, then you call it a long sound. When you say it for a short time, you call it a short sound. For example, A is a long sound, and it is also represented as EI or AI, as in faint, as you can see on the screen. Faint and faint are pronounced the same. Day, paint. All right, so AI, EI, or even make, amaze, amazing. But then, this different sound, ah. It's the most open sound, I suppose. Ah, or open sounds are like ah, or, so on. So father, away. Away is like in cup, and a in faint or paint or day, and so on. Always, always, a British English, particularly British pronunciation, will be like always. That's why I've included. So this also always, all, wall, WAL, wall, wrath, wrath. This is another way. I have not included it here. I should have. I forgot. I beg your pardon. But always, not always. In in another time in English in the past, you could say always. In Chaucer's English, you could say always, I suppose. Always. There'll be a word in Middle English. But in modern English, the English we speak today, we have always. In British English and the modern version of British English, well, well, in the original language, that is British English. Anyway, so in modern English, I'm always talking about British English anyway. In modern English, you have always. And then you have another sound, actor. Actor, that's another way you can pronounce A. So a, father, father. You don't say father, you say father. You say away, always, actor, adage. So A in this case is pronounced like E. You say, how is that possible? It's possible because of the tendency of appropriation, maybe, but that's very accusative because, well, simply that the English would like to have an identity of their own. The age suffix coming from French, and in French it would be age and so on. So instead of garage or garage or adage, you'd say garage or language or adage. And I suppose the received pronunciation will have its stance on it on this. But anyway, this is not for the beginner or the one practicing pronunciation, and I'll move on to the next word. Language, adage, language. So when in the AGE, age is different. AG in itself is a different word, and it's the first syllable, the first sound. So you don't say each, you just say age. But when AGE comes at the end of the word, like in this word and this word, you say adage, language, garage, garage. Suppose I don't think it's a garage, garage. Amaze, but amaze and amazing. So this is the present participle form of the verb to amaze, and to amaze. This is the base form of a verb. It's amaze. The Z has been substituted in place of original S. This is from Old English as well. Next, B, bilabial voice. Bilabial simply means both lips. Labia in Latin is lips, and bi means both. So both lips and voice. You make a voice. You don't make hissing sounds like in S. You don't do that. You make a voice from your vocal cords or from your voice box or pharynx or larynx. I don't remember which, but you make a voice, and that's why it's voiced. Like sir and the is voiced, sir is not voiced, it's unvoiced. Uh, and B involves both lips. They part when you speak it. So b, b sound, and examples are better, batter, bitter, bean, bean. Well, when we see bean in isolation, bean in itself, it's bean. But when we see it in sentences, we say bin, like bin, bin. So you have to take care of these fine nuances, these subtle differences while speaking. If you want to be considered a good speaker English, maybe that's why you're learning it. Anyway, that's when you would be conscious about it. Anyway, so been or been, when in a sentence, when used, I've been doing it for a long time. So I've been doing it. Not I've been doing it for a long time. So I've been doing it for a long time. In a sentence, it's been. But when seen in itself, when stressed, being, being. Similarly, bee, it's an insect. Brook, brine, not brook. Brook, brine, brim, breeches. That's a plural that exists only in the plural, like scissors, like trousers. Breach, breach is a word as well as a noun. In English, the same word can act as different parts of speech. I've said there's a lot of times that, in fact, a video, several videos in which I've been saying this. So, breach, bright, brown, brawn. There's difference between brown and brawn. Brawn is muscle. Brawny is muscly, having muscles. Brawn, brawny. Book, booth, not booth. Booth, boon, bane, bathe, bath. Bath is a town. Uh, Jane Austen's from there. That's a celebrated town in England today. Bake, break, break and break are homophones. One means um, contraption, like a machine to stop moving tires or anything that's revolving, and to break, or the noun break means discontinuing, discontinuation or discontinuing. When it's a verb to break, it's to discontinue. When it's a noun break, a discontinuation. Beard, not beard, beard, but bear. Bear has two meanings again. One is an animal, another is a verb. Animal, since it's an animal, it's a noun, and another is a verb. To bear is to suffer, to tolerate. Yeah, to tolerate or to suffer. Briar, Briar, briar. Brink, bring, brought. You need to repeat these words for yourself. Otherwise, it's just me who's practicing. It's just I who's practicing. I suppose it's more correct version of it. Anyway, it's just I who's practicing. C sounds like sir as well as cur. So combines with combines with H to sound cur and ch. I have forgotten to complete it. Anyway, that's very unprofessional. That's there. So cur, cat, call, cat call. Cat call will have both the syllables stressed because it's a compound noun. That's why I've included it to remark this. Anyway, dance. So sir, dance. At the end, generally it's sir. At the end, followed by a vowel, it's sir sound. But chord, chord, chord. Raucous, raucous. OUS is simply raucous, raucous, not raucous. See, uh, it's followed by two vowels, or a diphthong and another consonant. So the word doesn't end in a vowel. So not so. Raucous, raucous and boisterous are the same thing. Cinder, even though it's in the initial position, it's pronounced sir. That's why I've included it particularly. Also, it depends where the word is coming from. That dictates in the main how it's pronounced. That's what my belief is. I'm not a great linguist. I'm no linguist at all, in fact. Anyway, cylindrical. Cylindrical. It's possible that this is coming from Greek. See, cylindrical. Cyan, for example, cyan. What's the pronunciation? Look it up. Look it up. CYAN. It's a color, blue color, sky blue like. Cell, ceiling. This is one of the words that I have supplied right away, just now, spontaneously. Improvising. It's called improvising. Anyway, so century. Accordion is a musical instrument, for example. Cry, cram. Cheap, ch, 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 cheap. Cheat, cheer, chant, and chant, chowder. Chowder or chowder? You'll have to look it up. Beg your pardon. Chowder. There's a chapter called Chowder in Dickens' novel, um, David Copperfield. Copper. Yeah, that's another color sound. Let's see. Choice, choose, chosen. All forms of the same. What is it? Lexeme? I don't know. I don't remember. But all forms of the same word. Choice, choose, chosen, chose, chosen, choosing, and to choose, maybe. Yeah. Chair, chum, chip, chirp. This is included as another sound, as a sound in its own right, in English system of sounds. There are 44 sounds, I guess. You can find it out. British Council has an excellent application. You can download it on your iOS device or your Android device or even on your computer to run the file. It requires Edu Flash Player. I don't know, but you can run it on all platforms as far as I know. The chime, the chimes is a very good story by Charles Dickens, for example. Chime, a bell chimes, sweet, melodious sound, euphonious sound. Euphonious or euphonic? I don't know. You'll have to look it up. A melodious sound, a delightful sound, harmonious sound. Yeah, these things. Sweet to hear, sweet to the ear, ear. Anyway, chase, choir. I've included this because it's choir, like Q, choir, and it depends on, yeah, it's coming from French. I guess it's coming from French. That's why the odd pronunciation. Wa is from French anyway. Oi, it's from memoir, for example, memoir. So choir. So English pronunciation. A lot of things in English aren't regular, and you cannot explain it, and that's why so much of research, which is very profitable. Anyway, um, and very very interesting. I must admit. Choir, mice, mince, Circe. This is a Greek name. Circe is from Odysseus. Odysseus, Odyssey from the Odyssey. Odysseus is again the Latin form of the original word. I don't know what it is in the Greek version of it. Cent, century. It's all the same thing. Centennial, cant, canta, Canterbury. Canterbury is another place. Circe is the name of a character from the Odyssey. Cathedral, croon, canoe, OE. I forgot to include it in the diphthongs part, but OE, find it in canoe, and I think it has come from another language. Again, because it's rare, you don't find OE a lot in English. Cacophony, this is coming from Greek. Euphony, cacophony, the opposite. Disharmonious sounds, cacophony, and this is very important in poetry. Versification and poetry both. Uh, you must know the difference between versification and poetry if you're aiming at precision. Precise precision. You're marked for precision when you're attempting C2 and C1. Yeah. Cling, cling, crook, cape. All superheroes have capes, for example. I'll make sentences later because there will be a lot of sentences. It will take a lot of time. I need you to repeat the words after me. You need to you need to practice pronunciation of these words, and we can make another video for sentences. I'm dropping the idea. Anyway, sorry about that. Duh, duh, duh. The tongue is touching your soft palate, the start of the soft palate at least. And after that, it comes down hard, abruptly, or hard, comes down hard. You say duh, with a voiced sound, you produce it. It comes from your voice box. So, duh. And falls abruptly or hard with the vocal cords vibrating. That's how you make a voice sound at all. You hiss like, but you're making a voice sound. You're making a voice from your voice box. So yeah, the sound that the wall that it uses is d. The sound d, d, d or d. The letter is d, or and the pronunciation is close to d, d. I believe that you cannot pronounce words without vowels. That's why I've pronounced letters without vowels. That's why I've written like that. But let's say now the disturbance and the change in the vocal tract is what makes a sound. This is a theoretical question. Anyway, dance, 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 father, dance, dance, dance or dance. This is again coming from French. Taunce would be the old spelling. So dance, or dance. Let's dance. Let's dance. For example, a dance can be a verb, a dance can be a noun. Both. Ding, dim, dune, done, drone, down, drown, dream, drink, dread, drool, freed. Yeah, freed is freed. Yeah, freed, fled, laundry, drape, drip, dip, droop. There are many. There are many more. drudgery, dentist. Uh, think more words in with starting with D or having D in them. All the past participle words kicked, kicked, kicked. It's pronounced the last D is pronounced like a T. That's what they say because the final K is unvoiced and so on. Yeah. So kicked, kicked. Guttural stop, I think. Yeah, guttural stop. Anyway, kicked. So the second K is guttural stop or something like that, and that's why it's pronounced like a T instead of a D. So kicked. Uh, next, anyway, dreadful, dread, dreadful, dunce, D-U-N-C, dunce, dilapidated. Many words with the anyway. E sounds short as well as long. Eh, A, but A is represented by AI or other combinations, not by E directly. The long E, A, is represented by F-E-I-N-T, I suppose. Yeah, I'm not making a mistake. F-E-I-N-T, faint, and F-A-I-N-T, faint. And in teacher, it sounds like the shore. So teacher, the second sounds teacher, T-E-A sounds like E, while E-R sounds like very short that's shore. So E sounds as in let short, let bed, um, but the long E is represented by different letters in English. Sounds like I in birth, mirth, girth. Why have I written this? Yeah, yeah. So why have I written this? What do I mean by this? Sounds like I in birth, mirth, girth, girth. Okay. I think you can excuse me for this. I don't seem to recall why I had written this, and there's no explanation here, so you'll forgive me for this. I beg your pardon for this one. Anyway, so A as in day or faint or pain, and other sounds which we listened to in the previous video are not represented by E in English. Let or elephant, 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 elephant. Eel, two E's. Eloquent, eloquent. Generally, when it comes to start, it is I, I. So, not elephant, elephant, but eloquent. Empty, both E and I. Eloquent, eternity, eternity. Eloquent, empty, eloquent, empty. Teacher, ER. I'm talking about the second syllable, the shore. ER. Einstein is, I have discussed this in the previous video. Einstein is coming from the German language, and EI, whenever you encounter that, think about it. Think about its German origin. If it's possibly from German, it'll sound like I, so Einstein, or height, for example. But weight, A, WEIGHT, 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 and WAIT, weight. See, you have the same sound represented by different combination of letters, different combinations of letters in English. So WEIGHT, weight, and HEIGHT, height, different things. Enter, not inter. Enter. Hendrix. Hendrix is proper name. Einstein is a proper name, but I included them all the same. That rhymed. I chimed. Anyway, so entire, entire or entire. In older works, in older texts, you'll see the spelling INTIRE. So entire, entire, entire. I think it's entire. Eternity, eternal. Emphasis, emphasis, emphasis. It's something between A and E. Emphasis, more towards A, I suppose. Emphatic, ergo, ergo. It's like the sound, bird, bird. That reserved sound, that sound having its own identity in the English sound system. Ergo. Ergo simply means therefore. A very formal way of saying that. That's from Latin directly, I suppose. Yeah, Latin directly. Ergo. Ergo. I think Latinate language speakers will pronounce it like that. Ergo. 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 Ergo in Latin and Latin language. Just in Latin and Latin languages like ergo, but in English, ergo. Ergo. You earn it, for example, earn, EARN. So that's another way you represent the sound, earn. Fighter, the ER sound, firefighter, the ER sound. Again, notice that RE, firefighter, fire, it's it's fire, fire, or at best, fire, firefighter, firefighter. Note the stress. Fire will be stressed, and fi will be stressed. So the two fi's will be stressed. Firefighter, because it's a compound noun. It depends how the word is made up as well. On what how the word will sound like also depends on how the word is made up. Empire, empire, not empire, empire. The British Empire, for example, the erstwhile British Empire, erstwhile of your belonging to past, for example. It means it's an adjective and it means belonging to past. Creek, creek, same sounds, homophones, meanings different. Creek is a noun, creek is a verb. The first CREEK, creek. So you see, EE is used to represent E, and EA is used to represent E, as demonstrated by further words as well. Leak, freak, believe. We have discussed believe in the previous video. I think the relieve, and I was talking about conceive, conceive, and C and EI. Yeah, C and EI, conceive and receive, and so on. So believe, belief, IE also stands for B is short. Belief, believe. B is short. I is giving it a long sound. E, belie. The next word is belie, belie. In the previous word, belief, I was sounded like E, but in this word, it sounded like I, belie. So believe, belief, short E, and belie. Beyond. This is these words are from B is as you can see, believe, believe, belie, beyond, behead. These constructions are from Old English or Anglo-Saxon. Between, again, Anglo-Saxon. Extend, extend, not extend, extend, extend. Okay. Far, as in Farsi, differs from her, from Greek, for example, or in Hindi even. So per is totally aspirated, aspirated to the full extent, 100% aspirated, not like part, but pal. This is a Hindi word, I shouldn't be speaking. Anyway, but I can't think of any word in English. There's no sound her in English. Fur, English, I suppose fur is mapped to, PH is mapped to fur as well. Phone, we say phone, not phone. Anyway, fire, fond, frond, fine, fat, food, foot, feel, fan, fun, fantastic, fair, fig, fur, for, fryer, fiat, fix, fixed, fixed. Remember to speak t instead of d, because th is not making a sound. So that's why it's unvoiced. So fixed. G has two sounds in English, the g sound and the j sound. G is called soft, while j is called hard. There was no j sound in Latin, so that is a borrowing from other foreign influences, I suppose, in English. So goat and genial, gem, gym, gymnast, so on. Okay, it's also silent when it's followed by an N, as in gnome and no, these two words. I'll read the words: goat, goad, green, grin, ground, grind, grown, go, get, git, git, get, game, gimmick, Greenwich, gong, gone, gore, guide, glide, gloat, gyre. I suppose it is gyre. Please check. I'm sure it's gyre because it's gyrating for sure. Anyway, gape, gap, giant, grind, grumpy, gripe, grime, grim, grain, guile, gaunt, goose, guise, great, great, greet, great and great are homophones again. Great means something else. Great means something else. Great is an adjective. Great is a noun. Great, great is an adjective. Great written. Grat can mean two things. One of them is uh, something like knit. Yeah, it's grating. Yeah, great. Great is also a verb. You grate potatoes or something like that. So it's a net with sharp with blades, a net of blades you can call it to describe it, and it's an equipment you use to shred material like potatoes, maybe vegetables and so on. And there can be other grades too. Yeah, the grade is a fire grade as well as well a meaning. Yeah, and a fire grade is also a meaning. Anyway, greet, saying good morning is greeting someone. Glint, glee, gleam, glue, glass, glare, aghast, ghost, goon, chin, no, no. Notice that this chin, not gin, and so on. There are many words again, and what was that? Guild, guilt, and so on. H is voiced when initial, not as in French. You don't skip the H. You say honest, but otherwise you say hold, not old. Honest is an exception, but generally H is voiced in English, not as in French or maybe in other languages. You have to speak the H. Hot, not hot. Hot. Happy, not happy. When followed by a consonant, changes the syllable. For example, when H, okay, when it follows a consonant, should be, I think, when preceded by a consonant. This is a mistake, erratum, whatever it's called. Pardon me, I beg your pardon. So when it succeeds, or when a consonant precedes the H, that is, when H comes after a consonant, not before it. When H comes after a consonant, it changes this level. Either it makes a different sound altogether, or the preceding consonant is aspirated. For example, phone. So P comes before H, and you say phone, and shone. So it's a different sound altogether. So and shone, and part. Part is aspirated, but there's no H to mark it. That's the peculiarity of English. You have to know where P is aspirated, or where in P is, for example, aspirated. Boy, we don't aspirate boy. So P is a lot of times aspirated, but spot, not spot. Sport, part. Part has P aspirated to a slight degree, not 100%. Not part, 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 lightly aspirated. Anyway, words with H. Hard, here, heard, heard and heard are homophones. His, hit, him, height. See, height is from German. That's why EI is pronounced I. As well as notice as well that GHT is also German vestigial morphological element. Let's call it. GH form is also German, I think. Yeah. Hint, hint, not int. Hint, heed, heel, heel and heel again are heel is a part of the human body. or anybody. But heal is a part of the body, and heal is a verb which means to recuperate. And recuperate is a very difficult word for a learner beginning English. So heal is to cure, cure, cure. Home, house, hot, hone, hum, hinder, hote, hat. Honest, not honest. Honest. Here is an exception. It doesn't follow the rule. So it's an exception. Honest, not honest. Honest is the correct pronunciation. Hotel, not hotel. Hotel. Heighten, again, a German pronunciation. This is what I was talking about. Okay, I've been talking about the height anyway. So heighten. And en is how you make verbs in German, I suppose, by attaching an en. Anyway, so hate, hoot, an owl, hooted. Howl is Howl, howl and owl, two different words. Owl is an animal, howl is a kind of shriek, barbaric howl for this. Big shriek, big shout, kind of shout. Okay, so howl, 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 and owl, two different words, two different pronunciations. Hut, hug, hum, hunt, hide, hind, hoist, host, hamper, hunter. Okay, from hunt becomes from hum from hum from hunt you can make hunter. So this is the aging noun, I suppose. So one who hunts is hunter, but it's not always. Sticker is not one who sticks. Sticker is what is stuck somewhere. So that's you don't have to confuse that. One who hunts is hunter. Sticker something that is stuck on something else. Anyway, hop, hopper, grasshopper, for example. High, high and high are homophones. High and high high are homophones. He, he is pronounced he. It was initially he. It became he. That might be part of the Great Wall shift or something. Anyway, we'll continue in the next video with the rest of the pronunciations. Thank you.